First things first, yes, Concrete Genie does have combat, but I don't think that the game necessarily needed it. Some games don't have combat and they're better for it, and I think that whilst Concrete Genie is still a good game, that it could have been an even better game without it. With that in mind, join me as we explore Concrete Genie and why some games don't need combat. Before I move on to why this game didn't need combat, I will talk about why I love this game. Because we all love some positive vibes, right? First things first, this game is beautiful. I haven't played too many games in 4K yet, so that may just be it, but it just looks great and the art style's charming as well. The concept is a real high point as well, having to breathe new life into a dead town by painting all the walls bright and vibrant colours. It's wonderful, and you really do see the progress you make over time as you backtrack through the areas, which incentivises you to actually try and make your paintings look nice, instead of just brushing randomly. The game does a pretty good job of steering you towards doing so as well through exploration. You see loose pages of your book scattered throughout, and you can chase them to unlock new things to paint and new ways to decorate your genie. Oh yeah, your genie! I haven't mentioned them yet. You get these weird looking things as friends that help you through the levels. You can design them yourselves and you can interact with the world to help you move to new areas, such as blowing you across the water, or pulling down the covers blocking your route, who cares? The movement is awesome as well. The climbing is very clunky and animation driven, but once you unlock the ability to glide around the map, everything just becomes so much more fluid as you skate around the map at speed. There's a few puzzles as well, which aren't difficult but present enough of a challenge to make you use your brain. There's also the bullies, who I hated at the start of the game, picking on my guy Ash and destroying his art for no reason. Like, damn, who hurt you? Turns out, the world hurt them, and their reasons for being dicks are explained. Not justified. But it isn't really in enough depth for me to care about any of them, other than thinking, oh, that's sad, for a couple seconds. I don't remember any of their names, which shows how much they were explored. The first half of the game is overall just brilliant. I found myself getting lost in the painting and chasing of pages, and just had an all-round great time exploring and figuring out where to go next. But then, the second half of the game arrives, and they decide to introduce a new mechanic: combat. When they first showed me I could fight these Kingdom Hearts looking things, I was like, for fuck's sake, no! I was having enough fun exploring and painting, but then I thought actually, this isn't all that bad. It's kind of fun. But I very quickly grew to dislike it again. I know, what a roller coaster. My main thought was just, why? They didn't need to add combat into the game. Did they add it just because it's a video game and they felt like they needed to? Loads of brilliant games don't have combat. Think What Remains of Edith Finch, Journey, Limbo, Portal 2. Some of the best games ever made don't have much, if any, combat at all. But the second half of the game is filled with formulaic, repetitive, dull boss fights that have completely sucked out my enjoyment of the game for these periods. Why can't I skate around a new area of the map and keep painting? I was honestly expecting to see another area of the game, because all the areas that you do have all look the exact same. When we got to the fishing part, I was like, right, this is a bit dull, but it's the first level after the tutorial. I'm just getting to grips with the mechanics. But then, we've got the next two areas, which look the exact same. There's nothing to differentiate them. And to round things off, we've got a sewer level as well. Who likes sewer levels? I don't. It may sound like I'm being critical, but that's just because I really love the game, and it annoys me how close it was to being brilliant. I haven't even mentioned the final boss fight yet, and just... Jesus, it's terrible. It's one of the worst final boss fights I've ever played. It's not hard, it's not frustrating, it's just clunky. This game was fantastic. It didn't need the combat to improve. Conversely, it actually had the complete opposite effect. It turned out to be detrimental to the experience. I still think the game is underrated though, and if you picked it up on PS Plus, you should definitely play it. But I think it could have been a lot better. The game was unique. It was different. I enjoyed all the elements that went into making it different, and was dumbfounded as to why I hadn't seen more online about the game. But my experience was somewhat soured by the inclusion of terrible combat system. It doesn't break the game or anything, it just brings you back to earth. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it was, that it made the game bad, but it just wasn't necessary, and it shouldn't have been there. And that is why Concrete Genie shows us that some games don't need combat. thank you for making it to the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, then please consider leaving a like, as would be greatly appreciated, and if you want to see more content from me, then make sure to subscribe, as I upload videos just like this one every single Friday. Have a nice day, and goodbye.